Hi, I'm Frank Farris, and my Bridges paper is called Wallpaper Patterns from Looping Strands, the Layer Groups. Here's an example of one of the kinds of patterns that I mean. And the takeaway is that if there's anything that you like doing with wallpaper patterns, then there can be a way to extend that idea to something in 3 dimensions. I got onto this project last summer when I saw this bedspread and I compulsively analyze patterns. So I spent time looking at it and I actually recreated it in Rhino with Grasshopper like this. But the interesting mathematical question that this led me to is, what is the actual symmetry type of this pattern? And it turns out there's an interesting answer. Whereas wallpaper patterns, wallpaper groups are a way to describe symmetry in 2 dimensions. For patterns like these that are 3-dimensional, the correct idea is to talk about layer group symmetry. So to show you what I mean, I want to show you 2 different layer group extensions of the wallpaper group PG. PG is the one that just has glide reflections and then translational symmetry in another direction. So many people would look at this and say, oh yeah, that's a PG pattern. But what's the difference between that one and this one? On the left, if I were to do a half turn, a physical half turn in 3-space about that white line and then slide the pattern down, then the pattern would fall into coincidence with itself. This is assuming that this is an infinite pattern. That whole pattern would fall into coincidence with itself. Whereas on the right, if I were to mirror about that white line, not flip, but mirror about that white line and slide down, then the pattern would fall into coincidence with itself. So it turns out that that means that these are 2 different layer group extensions of the wallpaper group PG. And that's what I'll explain in my talk. The mathematics has a connection to the theory of color symmetry, and I'd love to refer you to my book, Creating Symmetry, The Artful Mathematics of Wallpaper Patterns, to read what I said about color symmetry there. I'm going to close by just showing some pretty examples. This one is connected to the wallpaper group PGG with its half turn in it. This one is connected to the group P4G with 4-fold rotational symmetry and a mirror. And this one is connected to the group P3M1, and I've decorated this one with 3 different colors. If you want to learn more, come to my talk. It's on Monday, August 2nd at 3:30 p.m. in Eastern Daylight Time. That's session number 4 of our Bridges Conference. Hope to see you there. Thanks for listening.